Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video we're gonna start with the absolute reference and relative reference, which is a very important subject, and for many students that I see they have some problems with working especially with absolute reference and when we should use relative reference and when we should use the absolute reference. I have this example here just to explain what's the difference here. First of all, what's the relative reference? Why we say relative reference? For example, if you have any cell here, like this cell, and I need to make like multiplication, a simple multiplication between a price and the quantity. So we have to say, write a formula and say just equal, and then this one, for example, and multiply. This is normal. Here, why we say a reference? Reference because this cell here, B4, refer to the cell, or which is like connected with this cell, this reference to the cell, and C4 also refer to this cell here. And we can see we have a color, a blue color for this, and here blue color, and here red color also for this. So this cell refer to the cell. Now after I say enter and then just drag here for fill handle or autofill, just go here and just drag, we will see something happen here. If we go to the formulas and just say show formula, just to see what happens behind the scene here. So we can see when we fill autofill or we fill handle, B4 become B5. Why? Because here changed the reference, changed relatively with the number of the row, because I've dragged or fill in the vertical way, vertically. So I'm working with the here with the row number, right? So B4 here, because 4 become B5 because the row is 5. So the value or the row here change it relatively with the cell or with the position of the row here, position of the cell, depending on the position of the cell. This cell with the row B4 become B5, become B6. Same thing here. C4 becomes C5, becomes C6. But you can see here the column has not changed. Why? Because we are dragged vertically, so in the same column will not change. B still B, and the C still C here. So this is the idea. This is called relative reference. The reference changed relatively with the position of the cell, depending on the number of the column, or in the number of the row here, or in the number of the column. For example, if I drag in this way horizontally, the column will change. So this is the idea here. Now if I return back and then just make it like this. Now what's the absolute reference? Absolute reference, also we have a reference because the cell refers to the position of the cell, but absolute, sometimes I don't need to change the cell when I fill handle, when I drag. For example here, this sales tax sales tax equal what? Equal, here we have a rule, equal price multiply quantity between the brackets, and then again times tax here, this one, this value tax. I can delete cell here, tax. Now how we can solve this? Just equal, open the brackets, because we just follow the rule here. Then price multiply quantity, and just multiply quantity, close the bracket, then again here multiply tax here. So now here's the problem. If I drag to the or autofill, B4 will become B5, B6, B7, C4 will become C5, C6, C7. And I need that because I need to start with this cell and then this cell, this cell, this cell. But the problem with the E2, I need all those cells here, all those cells in the price and the quantity, multiply with only this cell, which is E2, only E2, not change it. But when I drag, if I just return back to the formula here and show the formula, and you can see if I drag now here, just go here, drag this way, now you can see B4 become B5 regions, and we need that because we need the price multiply quantity for this row and this row and this row. This changed relative reference. But also E2 here become what? Become E3, which is total, nothing. Here E5, which is empty, nothing here. So what we need to do here, we need to make E2 constant or fixed, not change it. Just like freeze this cell here. So all those cells in this column and this column should multiply with only this one here. So every time, if you want to remember that, if we have multiple cells with only one cell, so we need to make operation or anything between multiple cells with only one cell. So this cell should be common for all cells. So this cell should be not changeable. When we drag, not change the column or the row of the cell. So how we to fix this problem here? Here we drag vertically, so which one will change? Like we said, the row will change, not the column. The column stay here, not change. But 2, 3, 4, 5 is changed. So the row is changed because we drag in this way. So just add $sign before anything you want. Before 2, now the 2 will not change. If you add it before the E will not change. But by default E or the column name not change it. So we don't need to add a $sign before the row. So if you add $sign before anything, this thing will be constant, will be fixed, static, not changeable in this way. So now if I just enter and just drag again, now we can see what happens here. Before here become B5 and C5, here B5. Now here becomes 6. But 2, you can see 2 is common between all. So all of them multiply E2 because we need to multiply this and this and this with only this cell here, E2. Now E2 is fixed. Another way to do that is just, instead if you add $sign here, you can just press in keyboard. If you have a laptop, you have to press Fn with F4 like this. If you have a computer, only F4. Desktop, just F4. Now automatically add the dollar before the column and before the row. Just remember that E is the column name and 2 is the row name. And then enter. Now same thing, and it will work without any problem. And then if we just go back to the formula, you can see we have it in this way. So here this is called absolute reference. If we need to make one cell constant or phrase this cell and make it not changeable. Hope you understand that, and thank you very much.